Today is the third installment of our series about creating the perfect sleep environment for your little one. Hi, I'm Nicky, Pediatric Sleep Consultant for Little Ones. Today we're going to be talking about the swaddle. Swaddling has sort of come in and out of controversy over the last 10 or so years, despite it being something that is literally thousands of years old. Some people have been concerned about hip development for children, some people have been concerned about safe sleep, and these are all valid concerns, but if you do it right, you don't really need to worry. Young babies, newborn babies, babies who are not yet rolling ought to be swaddled. Babies have what is called a moro reflex, and it's that startle reflex where when you start to lay them back, they fling out their arms like this. It can happen when they're drifting from light sleep to deep sleep. They startle themselves awake. When we're swaddling our babies, we're essentially restricting that startle reflex. They're going to sleep better because they're not startling themselves awake. There are some crucial things you need to know about swaddling your baby. If your baby is already overtired and you start to swaddle them, they're probably going to scream and resist it. Not because they hate the swaddle, it's just they're going to be fighting anything at that stage. Swaddling them is one of the best things you can do for them to help them settle to sleep. Now, choosing a swaddle is pretty important because there are lots of different types of swaddles. There are very firm arms down swaddles, which I would recommend if your baby has a very pronounced startle reflex. There are also arms up swaddles where the little fabric goes over their hands. These kind of ones, your baby still is allowed quite a lot of movement, which is fine for some babies. You might need to experiment. If you have friends with babies, maybe borrow a couple of different swaddles and see what's going to work best for your baby. I would almost advise against swaddling with just a huge big muslin cloth or a blanket, because unless you are a real expert at folding it and tightly wrapping it and tucking it, it's going to be very easy for your baby to wriggle out of it. And this is where swaddles of that kind can become a little bit unsafe, because we know that having loose blankets in your baby's bed is not safe sleeping. When it comes to the fabric of the swaddle, I would also really encourage you to use natural fibers. That's because your little one is really bad at regulating their own body temperature. And so using natural fibers is going to allow your baby's body to breathe a lot more, whereas man-made fibers, especially any kind of fleece, there is a massive risk of them overheating. When you're swaddling your baby, they have to sleep on their back. As soon as your baby starts rolling, you need to look at unswaddling them. So stay tuned, because our next video in this series is going to be about what happens after the swaddle, and that is a baby sleeping bag or sleep sack. Happy sleeping!